Hi, I'm attorney Tammy Saltzman, and you are watching Divorce Connection Network. I'm so pleased today to have with me Denise Isaacs, who I've known for many years, and she has been practicing family law exclusively for the last 35 years here in Boca Raton. And Denise, in her years of practice, has gathered certain tips that I think are really important for any couple considering a divorce when it comes to privacy. And so, Denise, I'm going to ask you to tell our audience, what is your definition of privacy and how can we protect it while we're going through a divorce?
Tammy, one of the things that you really have to focus on when you're getting a divorce is how to protect your privacy. You do not want the entire world knowing all your dirty laundry. It is imperative that you maintain your privacy, and I would suggest that you have one person, could be a family member, could be a friend, and that you only emote to that one friend. You do not tell everybody on the bus stop exactly what is going on, how your spouse has done this, that, and the other thing, because what happens is everything has legs and it's going to get back to your children. People are going to know things about you that you never would have told them before, and you don't want them to know now. You need to protect your privacy. You also need to protect your privacy against your spouse. You don't want the spouse knowing everything that is going on. We're family lawyers.
Right.
We know that there's let's say 35 to 40% of our clients or their spouses are having an affair. There's a third person involved. Mm-hmm. So we know that. Do not, under any circumstances, put your girlfriend or boyfriend's pictures out there on Facebook. Do not discuss what you did last night. Do not put everything. I would suggest closing down Facebook. It's okay for a couple of months till you get your divorce to not have the world know what you're doing.
That's important. I mean, before we go on, let's talk about some of the topics because they're really important topics and I don't want to just scoop over them quickly. So, not telling everybody that you know what's going on is so important, and also take it to another level. When you are speaking about what's going on, make sure who is in your earshot range. Children in your home have big ears, and they're listening too. So you have to be really careful. A lot of times people talk on their cell phone in the car, and the kids are in the back seat, and they think the kids are watching their videos or they're playing their games, but really they're listening to what you're saying. So you have to be so careful what you speak about.
Right, and your kids have friends there all the time. So whatever you're talking about is going to be known by the entire community.
And that's another thing that you brought up about how you speaking your business to your neighbors, say, is going to reflect on your children at some point, because your kids have a reputation, you have a reputation, and once people hear you're getting a divorce, they love to gossip.
True.
They love to talk behind your back. So these are two really important things. Then you talked, the next tip you told us about was how when you are dating, be careful about posting on Facebook your vacation weekend with your paramour, right? And how that just fuels the fire.
Right. You have to pick your battles. Why publicize a relationship that is only going to enrage the other spouse? Why? Just settle what you have to settle, be as quiet and as discreet as possible, and get on with it.
Some spouses feel that by posting pictures of your dates might make the other spouse jealous enough to come home. Do you see that happening often in your practice?
I never really thought about their psychological reasons.
Yes, or their ulterior motives, right?
Or the revenge motive.
Or the revenge motive,
You
which
didn't
we
want
see.
me, someone else does.
And there is always someone else who will. You know, I tell spouses that before you throw your spouse to the curb, just keep in mind they could get scooped up pretty quickly.
I have a philosophy. This is my philosophy. What you do is you stay in the marriage and you do every single thing that you can to make that marriage work, and then you can walk away with a free conscience that you have tried to do everything that you could to keep the marriage.
I know.
We recommend people to see therapists. We recommend people not to file until they're ready. They just come to see us. Sometimes it's divorce planning for financial reasons. Okay? But sometimes people are on the fence. And if they're on the fence, we give them advice to go to therapy. Therapy is wonderful.
Yes, I agree with you completely. Okay, so let's continue about the privacy issue. I know you wanted to talk about passwords.
Right. When it comes to, let's talk about computers. There are your computer, the other spouse's computers, everything's in the house. You need to know what you can and cannot do. There are rules on privacy. There are criminal penalties for invading someone else's privacy. Your husband, your wife, there are criminal penalties. You need to know very specifically and consult with a lawyer as to what you can and cannot do. On all of your credit cards, all of your bank statements, your email accounts, you need to change your passwords. If your spouse knows your passwords or not, change all of your passwords so that you can protect your privacy. If there is a family computer, make sure that you only work on your own computer, not on the family computer. When you decide that you're getting a divorce, or you are served with papers, or your spouse tells you that there's going to be a divorce, there's a line in the sand. That's the time to make sure that you protect your privacy, so that you can write to your best friend and emote. And it doesn't get into the hands of your spouse, because all it does is enrage them. When people ask me, should I hire a private investigator? I tell them, no, don't bother. Trust your gut. Don't spend the money. You don't want to know it, because it is devastating. Devastating. If you think that your spouse is having an affair and you have this, and this to rely on, you know the spouse is having an affair. Do not spend the money on it's a question of finances, and it's also a question of it'll break your heart.
Yes, I agree completely. Even your cell phone has passwords now. And I just got my new iPhone, and it has a thumbprint, which I find to be quite interesting. So
Wow.
Really nobody else can get into my phone unless they have my thumbprint or they actually know my startup code. And I think it's really important that when you get separated, you do change all of your codes, because you just never know what they'll be looking at. So are there proper ways, if you believe that there's information that you need to get from the bank, there are proper ways that we can get this information without breaking any laws. Is that correct?
Yes, you file for divorce, and when you file for divorce, you are entitled. The other person, it is mandatory that they provide you with certain documents. We're getting into the sphere of lawyers. You need to get this, or you can subpoena it. Somebody gives it voluntarily, or you can get it in a number of ways. It is if the other party keeps all of their credit cards, keeps all of their bank statements, all of their savings accounts, all their brokerage accounts, money markets, everything, then what you can do is you can copy those. You can take them to Kinko's or FedEx. You can just take them, have them copied overnight. I think that I tell my clients that they should become Sherlock Holmes. I love Sherlock Holmes. They need to look around their house. You will not believe the clues and the facts that you can, in fact, find by just going through the files of your spouse. Take them to Kinko's, take them to FedEx, copy everything, and then you have your case. Most of the money in a divorce is spent on discovery. If it is in your house and you are thinking of getting a divorce, do not first say, I'm getting a divorce. What you do is first be practical. Go around, collect absolutely everything, have it copied and put it back. Maybe you'll just have to do it a little bit at a time. It's okay. Take your time. The divorce will happen and you can spend a week getting all the information that you need and save yourself tens of thousands of dollars of waiting time.
And do it legally. So
that's papers.
Right.
That's papers.
Papers. So here we have a great way for you to find the things you need without breaking any privacy laws. And we're going to have Denise contact information on our website at divorceconnectionnetwork.com so that if you would like to consult with her, she will be available. Thank you for watching.